Hello and welcome to our number talk. Today we are looking at the expression 54 minus 27. What we do in a number talk is we use mental math. That means no paper and no pencil to try to solve an expression, and then we explore all the different ways we could have figured it out. So before we go any further, let's do that. Pause the video, work out 54 minus 27 in your head. When you have your answer, go ahead and unpause the video and we'll look at all of the different strategies together. So the first thing that we could have done is to add up. So what we do is we start with our little number, and our little number actually has a term. It is called the subtrahend. And so we're going to take our subtrahend. We're going to add up in chunks until we get to our minuend. That's what we call the bigger number in the subtraction problem. So we're going to add up from 27 up to 54. And we're just going to do it in chunks. First, we're going to try from 27. We're going to get up to the next 10. So that's 30. We have to keep track. That's plus 3. We're going to take one big jump to get to the 10 that's closest to 54 without going over, and that's 50. So that's as close as I can get. And from 30 to 50, that's a 20 jump. And then we've got one jump from 50 to 54. So that's a plus 4. So we get 3 separate jumps, all different sizes here. So 3 and 20 is 23. Add the 4 is 27. So hopefully you got this difference when you're subtracting in your head of 27. We can also use compensation to figure this out. And what we do with compensation is we take our subtrahend, remember that's the second number, and we add something to get it to the next 10. So in this case, let's add 3. So 54 minus 30 is going to be a lot easier to take care of than 54 minus 27 because there's no regrouping involved. So I can say 54 minus 30, that's 24. But remember, I added 3. So I actually changed my subtrahend and made it 3 bigger than it really should have been. So I've got to give that 3 back in order to make the expression back to what it should be, and that's going to get me my 27. Now, like adding up, we can also count back, but as you can probably guess, this time we're going to start with our minuend, 54, and we're going to count back to our subtrahend. And so let's just take some little jumps from 54 down to the next 10 below it. That's a 50. Let's do some jumps of 10 rather than one big jump. So that's going to be 40. Here's another jump of 10. That's going to be 30. Now I can't take another jump of 10 because that would get me too low down to 20. So I'm going to take my little final jump, and that's going to be a 3 down to 27. That's my subtrahend. And so we are going to now add up. 4 and 10 is 14, 24, 24 and 3, there's your 27. We can also use a strategy called constant difference. And it's going to be kind of like what we did when we use compensation. So let's add 3 to 27, because if we can subtract 30 from something, that's a lot easier than 27. But in order to keep a balanced expression, watch, we're going to go ahead and add 3 to that 54 as well. So I now have a balanced expression because even though I have a brand new problem, I added 3 to both of the terms, and so the difference between the two is going to stay constant. That's why it's called constant difference. And so 57 minus 30 is the same as 54 minus 27. And look how easy that is. No regrouping. That's 27. So these are all the different ways that I can think of to subtract 54 minus 27. If you can come up with another way, that is great. Go ahead and add that as a comment on the video. Teachers, if you would like a copy of the slide deck for your own use in the classroom, you can find it on my website at 5minutemath.net.